I got a reading booked, and I already know my rules with my energy is I'm not touching the information for your reading unless we are less than 24 hours away from your reading. Because if I look at your birth energy, if I look at your birth chart, right, even if I just type it in and let it come up on my computer, I'm tapped in immediately. Honestly, it's likely I'm tapped in before I even do any of that, but I know for a fact by then it's a wrap. So I was trying to be a good little, practitioner or whatever. I use astrology. I don't consider myself an astrologer. Let's just be clear about that. So if you want to go to an astrologer, please by all means do that. I am here using your birth chart to validate your Neptune energy and help you see yourself as the mirror that you are, because mirrors have a hard time seeing themselves. So if you come to a mirror who knows they're a mirror and knows that they will help you see yourself, you will see yourself. Okay? That's what I do. So that being the case, me trying to be a good whatever was trying to act like a astrologer and do a little bit of research ahead of time, knowing good and well that's not my ministry. That's not what I do. That's not how we do things. So I got sat out. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how I got sat out, because I had the reading. It was scheduled for today. I tried to look at the chart yesterday. I looked at the chart and immediate headache. Immediate. And I tried to power through it because I was like, oh, okay, it's somebody with Neptune energy. So, okay, yeah, it's going to be a lot. That's probably why I'm feeling this headache. And the thing about the headache was, it was, how do you say it? It was speaking. It had words. That's new. So I decided to be very proactive and just ask, should I be looking at this right now? Is this something I should be doing right now? And I very clearly got to know. Sit down. Sit your ass. So I said, okay, no problem, no issues. I know what I'm doing. I trust my ability. So even though it would have made me feel a bit more secure if I had looked at the chart ahead of time and did all of my sorting, I just opted that, okay, fine, I trust y'all. You said sit out, so I'm gonna sit this out. I got the gist of the chart, and the gist of the chart was, this is Neptune energy. And the gist of the chart was also, there's a lot of tension. There's fighting within yourself because there was opposing energies, really strong opposing energies. So I went to sleep, and I went to sleep knowing, even though I closed up as much as I could, I know I'm sensitive as hell. So to really close off, I gotta cut cords, cut ties. And if you didn't do anything to me for me to do that, I prefer not to do that, because the way I've experienced cutting cords and ties with people, they get violent. They get scary because they take it as a personal attack against them, when it's just, no, my energy is not with you anymore. So whatever benefit you were receiving from being close to me, that's been revoked. And if you were happening to be an unlucky person, or you were just really good things were happening to you and they're no longer happening to you, you're gonna think I did something to you, but I didn't do nothing to you. I just left you alone. I literally just left you alone. So I try not to cut cords with people unless they really deserve it, right? We gonna work on that though, because my ancestors is like, girl, let them have what's coming to them. So we gonna work on that. But anyway, the point, I went to bed knowing that I still felt a little bit of residual energy, and I was like, okay, that's not a big deal because I'm doing the reading tomorrow. No big deal. If they feel it, we'll talk about it. I wake up and, I had a dream where I was like all up in the subconscious. That's another story for another time. went and took a shower to try to like reset my energy for real. And in the shower, and I channel in the shower a lot. That's pretty common. I feel like that shouldn't be so weird. Anyway, like y'all should be used to that by now. Not from me, but like from people. People talk like this. So I'm in the shower and things are coming up like wild. Like there are certain things that I do, certain rituals that I do in the shower. It's like the way that I alter. I'm gonna let y'all think whatever you want, because I'm I'm getting so many thoughts of like what could y'all be thinking, and I'm like, listen, that's not important to me right now. I don't care what you think I'm doing. That doesn't matter. What did happen, however, I was being reminded of an experience, and my food is gonna get cold, so I'm not gonna tell this story today. Again, boundaries. I'm not telling this story today, I promise. I'll tell it another day, and I'm pretty sure I've told a little bit of it before on like YouTube and stuff. But basically, I was reminded of an experience I had when I first met one of my shadows. Thank you. I was reminded of an experience when I first met one of my shadows, and how that even happened, and what transpired after that, because usually it takes some months to really get accustomed to this energy, know what it is, who it is, or what part of me it is, right? Or what part of you it is, and then integrate them so that they feel welcome as a part of your energy and as a part of your being, so that they no longer operate in the shadow. And when I'm talking about shadow, what I mean is the parts of you where you're like self-sabotaging, where it's like something good is happening and you're making everything go wrong. And you're like, how am I doing this? I don't mean to do this, but this is happening. Like when you have no control over yourself and it's harming you, like in whatever way, there's a lot of ways that this can be presented, right? That tends to be a physical, or how do I say this? It tends to be a manifestation of your shadow. And there are a few placements that I will zoom in on to see this energy for you, right? And a few of those, some of those, because I'm not going to go over all of that, but Chiron is one, Black Moon Lilith is another, Scorpio placements are another, your moon is another. Not everyone's moon is like that, but a lot of moons tend to be like that. And your 8th house, whatever is in there, is another. Those are just some, and 12th house, of course. Those are just some examples, okay? But focus. Pluto too. Okay. Focus. Lord, I really want to eat my food hot. Why are we talking about this? So in the shower, it was coming up to me the first time I met my my shadow, my Chiron, and all of the experiences that came up with that. I'm gonna just say it like that. And the reason why that happened, I was self-aware to know the reason why this came up was because I was looking at a chart that had this polarizing energy that overlapped my Chiron. So this person's chart, which I'm looking at a chart of a mirror. This person is a mirror. I'm looking at the chart of a mirror. I tap out because I'm told to sit out of it. So I'm listening to my guidance. And now all of this stuff is coming up for me. And so I'm like in the shower crying. And it's funny because it's like, I want to be able to explain this, but I don't think I've integrated it enough to explain it well. So I might have to come back to this, but there's a certain kind of way that you're emotionally matured past an experience. where there's a cry that's like a release of this trauma, like this, deep healing kind of thing that needs to come up. There's a cry that's like a grief or all, those deep emotions. That was not this. This was like an acceptance, like a final transition, like oh, okay, thank you, and close. So in the moment, I was crying and I was laughing a lot about it because I realized what kind of cry this was, that this wasn't those deep emotion cries, but scorpionic energy. It was still something that needed to be transformed, and I didn't realize. So that happened, and now I'm stepping out of the shower, and all these ideas, pow, 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 like downloads, coming. Do this. Next step. And I'm like, oh, okay. Trying to catch myself, like, oh my God, that's gonna be great. Okay. All right. Now comes time for the reading. And I pull up the chart, and I ask the person, just to double check, are these details correct? And they tell me, actually, that one detail is incorrect. I was like, oh shoot. So we fix the detail, and the chart shifts 9 degrees. Very subtle, not a lot. But that is a different chart. That is a different chart. That is a different person. That is a different energy. Not a lot. Still a mirror. Still have the same, like, tension of energies. A lot is the same. Like, literally, the glyph of the chart is the same. But there's subtle shifts enough, and the things that I know to look for, enough that I know, oh, this is a different person, yo. This is a different person. And so I'm saying this to say as an example, because at the time I did not understand why I was being kicked out of the chart the way I was. Like, that's how I felt. And I literally said it like, oh, I was being told to sit down. Like, sit out of this chart. Sit this one out right now. And I didn't understand at the time. I was trying to be really responsible. A day later, here's the answer. Because 1, it was the wrong chart. 2, we wanted you to see something, but we did not want you involving, and I'm saying we, as in like my energy and my guidance, right? Like spirit team, ancestors, whoever you want to refer to it as. I just say like everybody involved. So I will say my energy, my guidance. And, they were like, we know that you were working on boundaries, and the person who booked with you is also working on boundaries. And so we don't want to use their chart to bring up the things that you need to see, right? So they were protected and I was protected so that we didn't mesh in that way. But somebody out there was subconsciously holding space for me to go through what I just went through, the transition and the shift that I went through to receive all that I went through. That mirror, I'm so thankful to that mirror. I'm so grateful to that mirror, and that mirror may never know what they did for me. And that's the type of thing that we do. That's what we do unconsciously. We just be out here holding space for people's energies. Now, that's an example. And again, I trust my team. I trust my guidance so much now because we've been through it, and we've been through it together. Like, I've been through stuff in my life where I knew, okay, somebody got my back. I don't know who and I don't know how, but here I am alive. It's a miracle. I get, like, how many times, so many times I went through stuff like that. So I'm aware. However, the past 3 years, I was getting to know who's on my side, who's riding for me. Who can I call, literally, who can I call in and be like, hey, stand in for me. Hey, I'm about to do a reading. Hey, hold this space for me. Help me. Who from the other side can I call? I be calling, okay? This is not something that I like to talk about because I like to protect them. Okay, so I don't even want people to know I be calling on people anymore. But like, I think it's time for people to know. And now I'm realizing it is time for people to know, because there's some people out there who are not wise and are still trying to dip in and knock and climb and do whatever, like scratch, claw their way into my energy. I am telling you, I'm warning you. I have boundaries now. Don't do it. Because I am not actively keeping you out. I have beings appointed to do that on my behalf. And they're strong as hell. And I have given them the green light to protect me at all costs. In my life, I've never done that. So there have been moments where I was about to be taken out and they stepped over my line and kind of intercepted on my behalf to ensure that I still could remain here, because they knew that I had big things that I agreed to do. So I understand that a lot of things could have been avoided if I knew better. But regardless, I needed to go through what I needed to go through, because here I am. However, don't play yourself. Don't play yourself. I'm dreaming like crazy. It's Scorpio season. I see your faces. I know who you are. I know who you are, and don't even bother to reach out if you, if you know what you're doing, and I know what you're doing, and I know you know what you're doing. So now you know I know what you're doing. Don't even bother to reach out. Don't do it. Because I'll be scared for you on your behalf. I don't know what, I told them to keep me out of it. I don't want to know. So if the tower falls and bricks hit you, I personally don't want to know about it, because I feel too deeply. I don't want you to go through whatever you got to go through. I don't want you to learn the hard way. I don't want you to suffer. But sometimes some people really want to learn the hard way. Some people really think they're above it, or I don't know. It's their soul's lesson. Regardless, Saturn in Pisces has taught me to stop interfering with other people's karma. So if you fall down the pit, if you're in the abyss, if you're in the hole right now, that's where you're gonna have to be. I'm not supposed to pull you out. That's not my job anymore. It's never been my job. But now I know it's not my job. So I've stopped doing that. And I've come here, left my food, and came here to tell y'all this is an example. Because this is what boundaries look like. Not having them was me thinking that every person who asked for my help deserved my help. Sometimes people just want to feel you. And that sounds crazy, but it is. But it is. That's what it is. Sometimes they just want to be near you. Sometimes they just want to feel you. They just want to be in your energy. They don't want to do better. They don't want to be better. They don't want to learn. They don't want to grow. And when that's the case, if that does not align with where you want to go, putting boundaries is cutting that off and saying, no, no more, / no longer allowed. So with this person, you say, whatever it is, if you need to say, we're no longer friends, we're no longer in a relationship, we're no longer contacting you or contactable, no contact, whatever, whoever, because everybody can get it, don't matter who you are, okay? Everybody can get it. However you need to set that line and draw that line with them, draw that line. There are people, and I shouted them out earlier, just now. There are people I haven't spoken to in over 10 years that are climbing into my energy right now. That line of communication was cut so long ago for a reason. For whatever reason, a lot of people, actually, I know the reason. We know the reason, because I'm here talking. That's why. And so they're feeling it. And so they want to check in. And some people don't mean anything by it. Those people are probably safe. You're probably good. My people ain't gonna do nothing to you. It's the people that don't mean well, that know good and well you didn't do good by me, and you're trying to see about me, you're trying to check up on me, you're trying to see what I got going on, and then what? Why? What are you gonna do next? How are you planning to creep back in? You think that's gonna work? There's some people I know have been trying to reach me and cannot. And I don't know how you cannot, but I've seen it. I've been shown that you can't. And I said, okay. I just said, okay, because I already told who I needed to tell on my side, my guides, my guidance. I told them, I gave them the okay, keep these people away from me. If they don't mean well, keep them away from me. So if you fall in that category and you can't reach me and you tried so hard, well, you need to check your priorities. What do you intend to do with me? Why are you trying so hard to reach me? What do you want? Do you mean well? And if you think you do and you still can't reach me, then we're either not aligned and or you don't mean well. So look in the mirror, check yourself. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Because at this point, I said too much. I'm reaching out right now. So cut. Boundary. This is what I wanted to rush up on here and talk to y'all about. Because setting boundaries is literally just, one, it has a lot to do with understanding your worth. And for me, that's what Chiron came to remind me. Chiron came back up to remind me that experience that I had the first time that I saw this energy, right? And when I say see clearly, see yourself clearly, and see the energy clearly, I spell it like clear sentience, clairvoyance for a reason. Because that's how I am expressing you will see it. So I saw that part of me. I saw Chiron, and the first time I saw Chiron. And I was reminded of when I did not value myself and how I did not appreciate myself. And so because that was something that needed to be learned and instilled in me, I went through what I went through, and I had to learn to close myself and my energy off from people who could not appreciate me. From people who could not appreciate me. They're just not able. They're just not able. Some people do not understand your worth. And that's fine. Just make space. Like, leave. Move over. You're taking up room for someone who can appreciate my worth, appreciate your worth, right? And so sometimes people will show you that they need to be taken out, or they'll take themselves out. But sometimes they got a big head, right? They think too much of themselves. They're not going to take themselves out. So sometimes you have to do it. And again, it'll be a simple conversation, or just no more words allowed. Don't speak to them anymore. Don't bother with their energy anymore. And a lot of times it feels cold. It feels cold as hell. The amount of people I walked away from, if I've ever walked away from you, especially if I walked away without saying anything, I just disappeared from your life, you need to understand that hurt like hell. That hurt like hell. If I ever get to that point with you, it's been building up. And if you have no idea, can you imagine me being a sensitive person? The dreams, the feelings, the emotions, all the things that must have come through on my side for me to get to that point. And how much? Because I know what you feel when I disappear. I know what it feels like. So you think it doesn't hurt me too? Like, it just hurt too much. Like, it hurt to the point where I said, oh God, I gotta take care of myself. I have to alter. I have to put me first. Self-care. I have to care for myself. And speaking of self-care, I did say I was going to put a boundary on this, right? So that's most of what I got to say when it comes to concerning boundaries, concerning protecting your mana, concerning protecting your energy. Like, that's number one. Before we focus on pulling anything from any realm and making it real here, realizing it on Earth, and first, get your house in order. Your house is you, your energy. Your energy, if you have Neptune energy, your energy is huge as hell. Okay, your energy is like a mansion. And if you imagine a mansion where you let every and anybody come in and you having house parties all the time, that place is disgusting. If you're not cleaning it up, you don't got somebody in here helping you. Like, what did they call that? I don't even know. I'm not even there yet. House cleaners? Is it house cleaning? Housekeeping? Whatever. Those people, excuse me, those people who come in and help you clean, right? And you pay to clean, like you compensate to clean your energy. That would be like your Reiki healer. That would be like the massage therapist who, you know, has healing hands. The one who helps you drain your lymphatic system. The one who helps you reset your, you know, what the hell is that called? Nervous system, whatever. Those type of practitioners and healers and all those people. The herb lady, all those people, those are like your housekeepers. You make sure you pay them well. You compensate them well. Don't be a, you know. Anyway, so why are we talking about that? Because we're talking about boundaries. Okay? And we're going to talk more about boundaries. I just need to eat. Okay? Okay. Peace out.